I think a lot of people are asking this question, are we at the bottom or not? I think we're getting close to it.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to yet another wonderful video. Today we have with us the expert crypto analyst, ALESSIO RASTANI, who is going to share some good news about the crypto market. You really don't want to miss out on this one, because this could be the piece of info you needed to protect your portfolio from any more losses. Without wasting any more time, let's get straight into the video.
When we say capitulation, we're not talking about one single level called the bottom. No, it's a region, it's a zone where it's more likely, it's more probable that Bitcoin is likely to find a bottom eventually. So those are the levels. For example, in 2018, when Bitcoin dropped from 20,000, then it dropped to 6,000 over the next several months. And then at 6,000, it found the floor temporarily before it dropped again in late 2018, November, December, all the way down towards 3,000, about 3,200, I think it was 3,200, 3,100. And the thing is, you could argue that that entire region from really 4,000 to 3,000, anything that region or lower was the capitulation zone, the bottom there. A good opportunity for people to step in and buy small amounts. In the year 2020, after the major crash that occurred in 2020, at the beginning of the pandemic crisis and all that, I did that with the stock market, and also I did that with Bitcoin at about $6,000. I didn't get the exact bottom.
As we know, no one can predict the exact point from where a reversal might occur. Instead, we try to look for an area or a region that is likely to act as a support, allowing the price to reverse from there. This is exactly what ALESSIO was trying to explain to us. He admits that even he couldn't pick the exact bottom and enter at 3,000 instead of the 6,000.
I think a lot of people are asking this question, are we at the bottom or not? I think we're getting close to it.
According to ALESSIO, we haven't seen the bottom yet, although we are pretty close to it. He says that the price dropping below 17.5 is extremely likely.
But even though I think that we're getting closer to a bottom, I think that when Bitcoin dropped to 20K and went slightly below it, went slightly below 20K to 17,000, 18,000, to me, that was the beginning of the likely capitulation zone, the beginning of it. Even if Bitcoin goes a bit lower, I don't think it's going to go all the way to 10,000. It might go to 12K or 10K. It's possible, but I think that I think it's less probable.
With the new low set at the $17,000 to $18,000 level, he says that the bottom is near, but the price can still go down to the $12,000 to $13,000 level.
I'm seeing a lot of comments on social media, on YouTube, saying they will buy when Bitcoin has dropped, to 10K, 12K, something like that, a lot lower prices. And they still wouldn't buy. People would still say, no, I'll wait until it goes to 5K and 4K, and then I'm going to buy it 5K, 4K. Yeah. And when it goes to 5K, 4K, they'll say, no, I'll wait until it goes to 1,000. It's like it never ends. It's like, and that's the thing. That's one of the ways you can find out that you're getting closer and closer to capitulation and a bottom is when people have no interest in buying. They have no interest. They're not bullish. They're all very bearish. The sentiment is very negative.
This is a very solid point he makes. Reversals are usually seen when people are extremely bullish or extremely bearish. Remember, when Bitcoin was soaring to new highs at 69,000 and social media was full of videos that claimed Bitcoin will hit 100,000 and the price fell from there. This is exactly what we're seeing now, but this time people are overly bearish. Enjoying the video? Hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for daily videos like this.
If it holds, I think if we hold about 18K, if we hold it and as long as that level holds, and if we see a higher low, so for example, what happened, if you look at the chart, you'll see that what happened was when Bitcoin dropped to 17,000, it bounced. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. We had a bounce in the last couple of weeks. So it went from 17,000 back up to about 21,000, okay? Near 22,000, we've had a retracement. We've had another drop in the last few days to about 18,000. I think it went just near 18,000 or thereabouts, just below 19,000, 18,000. So That's a second low we've made. Sorry, I beg your pardon. We've made here's the bottom line. My point is that if Bitcoin manages now to take out the recent high we made near 22K, if Bitcoin can get above 22K and move higher towards 20, probability that a likely uptrend is beginning, because now that would give us a higher low.
The expert analyst believes if Bitcoin manages to hold the $18,000 level and make a higher high, this could be the start of a new uptrend because there is a very strong long-term trend line that Bitcoin just touched.
My point is that the safest thing to do at the moment is, instead of guessing where the bottom is, just wait for a slightly higher low, okay? And a higher low, I think, eventually will come. Again, I think if Bitcoin can manage to go to 22K, 23K in the next few weeks, that would give us a higher low, in my view. The other alternative is if Bitcoin, and I say if Bitcoin, very strong move down, let's say to 15,000, or let's say at worst case scenario, let's say 12K. 12K is a region that Gareth Soloway was talking about, trader Gareth Soloway I talked to recently. So, I mean, if you make a severe, fast move towards those lower levels, then yeah, you might see a much more severe capitulation at those levels too, as long as it happens very quickly. But again, the way I'm seeing it right now, I think that those lower levels, like 10K or 12K, potentially are becoming less likely.
As the saying goes, never try to time the market because there's a high probability you will lose money. Instead, Alessio's advice is to wait for a higher low because at the moment there is no visible uptrend. However, if the price manages to drop below 17 to 18,000, then it's better to wait for 12,000, as it will save you from a lot of pain, even though this scenario is less likely according to him.
If the economy goes into recession this year, or it becomes very difficult for the stock, it becomes difficult for the stock market. I think put it this way, if we're going into a recession this year, then that means the stock market could be going into a long-term bear market as well. Okay. And that makes it very difficult. I would say almost unlikely for Bitcoin to go back above 69K this year. So I'm waiting to see what happens on the stock market, on the S&P soon, in the next few weeks. If the stock market can bottom and go back above 4,200, okay, on the S&P that is. So if we see a bottom on the stock market, which I think is probable, because there are some signs that show that this current downward trend in the stock market could be ending soon. There are some positive signs. It's not definite, it's not certain, but I'm beginning to see there are signs there. We need confirmation. Strong move. We see a strong rally above 4,200, the June highs. Then I think this would give a higher probability that the bull market in stocks can continue, and that would be a bullish sign for the economy. That would be a good sign for the economy, and it also would be a good sign for Bitcoin.
The key takeaway here is that Alessio is looking for the stock market to bottom out to confirm the recession is over. If that happens, the economy will continue to improve, and the stock market will be back in a bull run. Ultimately, Bitcoin will rise with it too, and the chances of retesting previous highs of 69,000 are pretty high.
If Bitcoin spends several months going sideways in a base and then drops again lower, that's not something you want, because it shows that it's not holding that support, the very important support at the 20K to 15K range. All right, if that does not hold, that could be a very dangerous sign for Bitcoin in the long term.
The worst case scenario for Bitcoin would be if it fails to maintain support at the $17,000 to $20,000 level and breaks down. If this happens, it could indicate towards a much longer term bear market for Bitcoin, and we will see people lose more money.
So let's see what happens. I mean, if the stock market goes below, that's an if, 300, 3,200, then yeah, that's a strong warning that a recession is going to happen. But that remains to be seen. I think that remains to be seen. I'm skeptical. I don't think that's going to happen so quickly. I think personally, I think a recession is more likely to start next year, maybe not this year. Perhaps by the end of next year, 2023. I would be surprised if it started like this year.
According to Alessio, if the S&P 500 index drops below 3,300 to 3,200, that would be a very strong signal for recession, but it is not the most likely scenario. He believes that we may not see recession this year at all.
So the problem is that if everybody is already in the market, if everybody's bought Bitcoin, everybody is bullish, everyone is expecting higher prices. The problem then is that's what's called a saturated market. Saturated. So there's no more buyers left. There's very few buyers left. Okay? That means there are only sellers. There's no more money or juice to push the price up. And that's when markets crash. Okay? It's the same thing that happened in every market bubble. Every bubble in history, the same thing. When everybody buys in near the top of the market, any kind of small bad news can push the price down. Slightest bad news can push the price down.
Of course, when everyone is buying Bitcoin, there comes a time when there are no more buyers left to buy at those higher prices. Sellers overcome buyers, and that's when we see big crashes. We hope you found this market insight by Alessio Rastani helpful. When do you think the recession is coming, and how will it affect Bitcoin? Let us know in the comments down below. Share this video with your friends and family so they don't miss out on such important news.